Whoa! Hello!
Whoa. Hello, creatures.
Welcome to another craft video.
Today we'll be showing you how to craft Yung Raccoon's iconic head.
Or hood.
Or hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a young raccoon in the wild, you're sure to recognize their beautiful, iconic hood pictured here on their head behind us.
Yeah, it's quite simple and easy to do, and I'm sure all of you want to cosplay Young Raccoon.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Let's go!
Let's go!
You
will need one balaclava.
Yay! Spikearinos!
Safety pins of various shapes and sizes.
Scissors!
Those ones are for fabric. I also recommend having other non-fabric scissors.
Yay! Paint pen!
Miscellaneous black fabric. More than that.
Like this much.
Less than that. Some kind of measuring and straight-edged device.
Yay!
A pencil.
Thread and a needle. Ah!
Fabric chalk.
Cardboard.
Stuffing of some kind. Maybe that you got from inside a Costco pillow.
A hot glue gun.
I think that's about everything. Ow. So in order to make the horns, they are 3-sided pyramid type shapes. So what I did was I just kind of eyeballed the size for the first one like that. Seems about right. And then I cut that out. Once I had one of them, you can go through and go like that, tracing it. My first one was way small. Like so. All the way across the page. And then you can go like that also. And then when you cut out like that and that, you'll end up with a bunch of them all at once. So then, once you've got 3 pretty, even type guys, that's when you get your hot glue out.
Are those horns cute?
They are cute.
Yay!
Scrap cardboard's good. I'm using a pizza box. So, you got your hot glue gun. If you don't know how to use one, look up a different tutorial. This isn't about that. Careful not to burn yourself though. You can take your cardboard and get one side of it gluey. It doesn't need to be perfect because you're kind of gonna cover it in fabric later. And then you can take your 2 pieces and kind of do them like so. I'm gonna try and, I don't know, get it about right, but yeah, we'll have a little bend to it, so it's enough to be perfect. Probably shouldn't touch it, but I am. It's cooled off slightly. I'm just getting the edge, but you could use like a tool to do that or something. Yay. I wear gloves, I don't know. Be safe. You do the other edges. And then you can plop that on there, squeeze it into formation. Yay! Now you got a nice pyramid. If there's like gapping happening like that where it's broken off, you can always kind of fill it in and squeeze it together. Nice thing about hot glue is it dries really fast, so you can get the shape be how you want it. I don't know, I think that's self-explanatory enough. And you do that a second time to make another spike horn.
Yay.
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 All right, now that you've got a nice horn, you can take your fabric and your horn. You can like find an edge of the fabric, and I left about that much of a seam allowance. So you want to place it like that far on the edge. It's not, it doesn't have to be super exact, honestly. I'm gonna start tracing it with the fabric chalk, like that. Right. And then you go around and add your seam allowance. You can also do this on like patterning paper. Then you'll have a pattern that you can use time and time again. Or you can do this way and trace it for the next one, which is what I ended up doing. You can use your fabric scissors to cut out the pattern. So then you end up with your pattern. And for the second horn, you can just put it back on and trace and cut out a similar one. So then you take your horn and you go ahead and apply hot glue to one side of it. Want to make sure that you definitely get the edges and maybe do a little bit in the middle too. And then you want to put it in that first triangle kind of zone. You go a little closer to the top, but make sure that you leave some edge there, and at the bottom press it on, make it nice and flat. Oh, I almost forgot. Oh my goodness. So this edge here, the one that's sticking out, you want to go ahead and put that on first, like so. And then you get like on top of it as well. And you go in for this last edge, and all along the edge of it. I didn't hold too much. And then when you squeeze that last side on, you're covering up. Oh dear. Please be more careful with hot glue than me. Covering up that edge. Now, this one kind of worked out where the edges just met up pretty well. But if you have more overhanging at the end, you can trim it along the side to make it nice and clean. Pointy. Ta-da!
Yay.
I have been working on creating the iconic scaly pattern that appears on a young raccoon's horns. Pattern is something like this, but I don't know, it can be varied and flexible. The original young raccoon also has a stripe going across one of their horns, and the top part is left black, but you can really do it any way that suits you, and young raccoons come in many colors. But I've been using this white paint pen on this black fabric to create the scaly pattern. Starting on the bottom, you really gotta squeeze it. You could probably use other methods of applying the paint too. And I like to close off the bottom, but you don't have to. And I just kind of create scales. Scales can be in varying sizes as well for a little intrigue. Keep doing it till it's done.
Whack on your favorite podcast. Step whatever we're on.
You can do this first or later.
Yeah.
It's
Take your
flexible.
scissors and
Should I model the balaclava?
sure.
Before.
Don't wear the balaclava while you're cutting it out.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. So first cut here. And then cut like this to make a triangle. And then on the other side.
There's a lot of triangles.
This is a very triangular look. Look. And then you have a fun bat.
After
Yay!
you do that, you can sew up the edge for a little bit of sturdiness. You can do it in black
Or
thread
white.
if you want it to be less visible, or whatever color your heart desires.
Yeah. Raccoons come in every shape and size and color.
Yay!
So probably want to do the horns first, but if not,
I can show you how to do a spike. All right.
of how to apply a spike.
So you got your spike and you got your screw. You put the spike, the screw, it's the inside, and you can poke it through. Now you take your spike and it can go on the screw. You can screw it in with your fingers, and then when you get about as tight as you can like hold it and use the screwdriver to tighten it up. But with other types of spikes, like these ones, you can tell they got poked through from the outside, and then these little things got bent with pliers to hold them in. So you can look up how to use whatever kind of spike you decide to use.
Yay!
Yippee!
Okay, you need a pattern for ears. So you take cardboard. Thicker cardboard will work, but this is like a thinner cardboard. And you draw a raindrop shape, like so. And then, if you want it to be symmetric, you can fold it in half, take some scissors, not fabric scissors, and cut it out. Now, don't cut your fingers. Voila! Okay, now you've got your pattern. Take your fabric and your pattern and your chalk and trace it out 4 times onto the fabric. Leave a little gap between, enough seam allowance that you feel comfortable sewing it. Okay, 2 down. One more. If your fabric is stretchy, you should be mindful which ways it stretches in, and that you'll probably need more seam allowance. But I don't like stretchy fabric, so I rarely buy it. So then you're gonna take your fabric scissors, cut it out. Then you take two. I might iron these before I sew them. And you put the pattern side out. So that way it'll be on the inside. Make sure they overlap. Everywhere there's a line. Now we sew. Welcome to the sewing machine. Finished ironing. Take your two right sides. Not right as in right, but right as in right. As in the outside that you want it to end up with at the end.
Correct.
The correct side, the outside, and put them together. So both outsides are facing each other. 'Cause it's always fun to face each other in the outside. On the inside.
This be a little more confusing.
This isn't a sewing tutorial. Go find one of those if you don't know how to sew. You can also hand sew this. I'm just doing this on a machine because it's faster. Go. Okay, you may be wondering why I stopped. So I'm gonna leave the bottom here. Hopefully that's visible. Just a little gap to flip it inside out. And then also to put all the stuffing in. So move over here, leaving about a 1.5 to 2 inch gap at the bottom, or on any side that you want. You can stuff it any way you want. There we go. And just like that, we've sewed one. Take your fabric scissors, trim off the excess. So you're gonna want to get a real pointy point at the end. You want to get as close as possible without trimming off the top for where the two seams meet, like so. And then you can just kind of eyeball it and go like 1/8 of an inch, maybe, I don't know. Being careful not to cut through, but if you do, that's fine. I did that on one, and I patched it and it still looks good. Leaving a little gap at the bottom. Okay, fun fact, see all this scrap material here? You can put it in there, and then you have to use less of your Costco pillow. Then you still have a pillow to sleep on at night. Okay, and then movie magic. Now there's two of them. So you take it and you flip it inside out. And now the outsides are on the outside where they belong. It's a struggle. Take your scissors and you can push it good. Ta-da! There you have it. Take your filling from Costco's pillow, which looks like industrial waste, and stuff it in there. It's like Build-A-Bear, which I've never been to, but you can choose your level of stuffed. Push. You can use the scissors to push it down into the tip. And then once you've got the tip bit, you can basically put whatever you want in there. So we're gonna take the scrap fabric and really shove that in, reducing our trash and increasing our fun. The sewing machine doesn't have a name yet. Put one in the comments. Okay, and now once you've finished stuffing your ear, you're gonna wanna fold in these little flaps. And sew up. So I'll do that now. Ta-da! And it's an ear. This one's not as round at the bottom, but that's okay. Ears come in all shapes and sizes. Now you do that twice. And I'll show you when it's done. Bye. There's 2 of them now.
Now we're going to be sewing around the edge for reinforcement. As you can see, when you cut away part of the face, that sounded dark, it creates this hole between the 2 layers, at least on the balaclavas we bought. So we've been sewing around the exposed edge to add a little reinforcement. Yay. It's pretty easy to do by hand, but you could probably also figure out how to use a machine for it if that's your jam. All right, here we go. It's a knit fabric, so it's got lots of holes in it.
It's holy.
So you gotta tie a big, thick knot so that it doesn't slip through.
Gotta love those knots.
Ta-da! Now, it's not gonna come apart quite as easily. Yay! All right, next up, it's time to get horny. Now we're going to sew the horns onto the head. This is probably the most annoying part of the entire process. And maybe you can come up with a better method. You can try putting it on your head to position them, or you can just kind of eyeball it. I'm just kind of gonna eyeball it. So, kind of start on this first edge, and you go through the fabric you created. You want to do it in a way where you can tuck the fabric underneath ultimately. The first edge isn't so bad. Just want to make sure you're going through the top layer of the mask, but don't sew it in a way where you go all the way through the back and sew it together. Now you want to end in such a way that you're on the inside of the balaclava or the hood. You can see how the when you flip it up, the fabric is hidden underneath in this triangle. You want to get all the fabric in there, and then going through, kind of feeling where the outside edge of the pyramid horn is. You go in and out because you can't really reach inside the horn for this bit, and you try and feel that you're getting the fabric that's in there. But yeah, this is the part where maybe you can figure out a better method than we have. But it's worked so far. Struggle. Struggle. Yep, it's attached. If one of the edges doesn't come out super attached, you can always kind of go back across. But I feel like even though this is kind of imperfect here, it's good enough.
It's time to add ears into the mix. All right, so here's our ears. As you can see, there's a little bit of a slant to them. And I've been liking to like put the little bit longer bit towards the back. So this one will be like that, and this one will be like that. I don't know. And placement, you can have them higher or lower. Generally, I try to get the bottom to line up with halfway along the triangle bit of the hood. And then you just kind of go down. Our balaclavas have this line on the top. I kind of just try to hit the middle of that. So around here. And you just go in. And you just stab that ear. Stab that ear. And do some other directions. I don't know. Whatever feels right to you. The struggle is lining up the other one. Though we love a lopsided, asymmetric sort of raccoon. So it's fine if it's not perfect. Ears are like boobs. It's best if you can hold them when you're scared. Just depends on the type of fear. Boobs are great for emotional fear. Ears are great for loud fear. This ear's not coming off. Not going nowhere. This is really what Van Gogh should have done. You know, just a little extra thread. Make sure when you're doing that dance number, it doesn't just go flying off.
Like what happened to Van Gogh.
Yeah. Little known Van Gogh fact for you there. All right, and so now you can try on your hood. You have to remove your glasses. Hello. You can see that you might want more ear stability. So now it's time for safety pins. Here's an assortment of safety pins. You can tell by the name, safety pins. So grab some medium ones, like maybe these ones, and flip. And safetyify them. And kind of near the horns, you want to safety pin them up so they have less wobble. And while you're at it, you can take some fun safety pins and add some piercings to the ears. Like this. It's fun to make it asymmetric. Cool. Circle. Like that. Then if you have your fancy jewelry, you can hang it off of these. Okay. Now you can try it on again and do another wiggle test. Yeah. Hello, Claudia.
Oh no, she doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it, no.
She got all poofied.
It's still me.
Oh, she's so poofed.
She's getting over her fear.
Congratulations! Yay! You made it to the end of the video, almost. stick around just a little bit longer. All that's left is to add more spikes and whatever decoration your heart
Yay.
desires. Here's an example of a more finished product.
We'll show you some pictures of these ones when they're fully spiked.
Yeah, you should share your pictures with us. We will add an email to the description, or you can just send us Polaroids via carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see all of our new exciting videos as they come out.
Don't forget to check out our other crafting video where we make oobleck. Should we give them an update on what happened to the slime, the oobleck?
Oh yeah, slime update.
Slime update.
Breaking slime update.
Breaking from like 9 months ago.
Yeah, we kept that oobleck from the first video
in the cupboard for a few weeks.
We opened it up.
It smelled so bad. We had to throw out all the Tupperware. Don't do that.
Don't
throw
do
away
that.
your oobleck. It was bad. There was biohazard police.
We had to call the FBI.
Yeah, we called them.
Okay, bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.